Victoria.
Hello! Welcome to Community Crossroads. Coming up, we hear from Mike Mercer, President of the Victoria ISD Board. We talk all about all 4 propositions on the ballot for the November 2nd election. And we also learn about the Victoria Main Street Program's master plan, as well as programs offered at the University of Houston, Victoria. And first up, we speak with Mike Mercer, President of the Victoria ISD Board. Welcome to the show.
Well, thank you so much, Carolina. Thanks for having us.
Oh, yeah. Well, we're just a few days away from the big election night. And so talk to us about these 4 propositions. Earlier this year, we had, I think, just 1 item in the May election.
That's correct. That's correct.
And now 4. How did we get here?
You know, first of all, thank you for asking that question. And also, I want to take the time to thank the community. I think when you go out to the community and you reveal some of the things that need to be done within the district, within the infrastructure, a lot of times it feels like a constant ask. But I do want to pause for a second and say thank you, because we wouldn't be where we are as a district now if the community hadn't been a strong supporter and a strong piece of that.
How many people on this task force?
Wow. You know, that task force ran for over a year and a half. And so you had people that came on and went off. All told, I would guess that we had probably close to 80 to 100 different individuals that served at some point in time during that process.
And you also solicited community feedback.
Absolutely, absolutely. One of the things the administration had done was open up a portal for people to respond online so that those comments could be captured and that we could review as a board. In addition, there were also, this last time around, there were 2 community-wide meetings for people to come, and learn about the nuances of every single proposition that they would see on the board this year, and then gave them the opportunity to vote in and ask them what they would like to see on the ballot this time around.
And in May, the bond did not pass by a very slim margin.
Correct.
So it goes to show, as long as we get voter turnout and support, it's possible.
Well, I can't stress enough how important it is for every voice to be heard. Even voices that don't agree with me, even voices that may look at it from an entirely different perspective. The voter participation that we have in the community, especially in non-presidential years, man, we 15% tops, 12 to 15%, which I think is unfortunate, because I think there's a huge portion of our community that we don't hear from. So, I encourage everyone to go out and vote. Have your voice heard. Take the time, research as much as you want. There's information available all over, and we can talk about some of those sources in a little bit. But first and foremost, show up, vote, make sure that your voice is heard, so that whatever happens in our community, you've at least had the opportunity to have some say in it.
Well, let's go over the 4 propositions.
Okay.
So part 1 of A, that's the voter approval tax rate
election.
You'll
hear the term VATRE, and if you're like me, it was one of the first things I did. I've only been on the board for about 2.5 years, and one of the first things that I made everyone do is spell out the acronyms. Tell me exactly what it stands for, because it's very simple, or it's very easy to get caught up in the confusion.
We'll actually spend some more time elaborating on that.
Sure.
First, we're going to go to break.
All right.
So coming up, we'll be right back with Mike Mercer. We want to thank everyone that's taken part, but we also want to learn about what's on the ballot. Welcome back. We're now joined by Mike Mercer as we continue our discussion about the bond propositions on the November 2nd ballot. And so, Mike, talk to us about the first part of Proposition A. I interpret it as teacher raises.
Yeah, actually, it's all staff raises.
Oh, wow.
It includes the teachers, it includes the campus administrators, it includes the custodians, it includes our maintenance workers, the whole 9 yards. I mean, it covers it all. And one of the things that we had heard time and time again from our staff and our community is that we're not doing enough to retain and recruit great teachers and great staff members. So this is an opportunity for us as a community to address that and make up that difference.
And it could be economic stimulus for the community, because people who work here probably spend here.
That's a great point.
So
you're talking about
win-win.
you're talking about maybe putting $4 million in salaries back into our community, which then can be spent on goods and services within our community where they live.
Roads and
exactly,
all that
exactly.
good
Sales tax goes
stuff.
up, so the county benefits, the city benefits. No, it has the potential to do great things.
And the second part of Proposition A has to do with district-wide repair. So it's not rebuilding one campus or the other, it's district-wide.
Right. Several of our facilities in the district are 50 years old and older. And while several of them are still good structures, there are systems that have to be upgraded and replaced. Unfortunately, the cost of those systems are prohibitive to make it a part of a regular maintenance budget item. So if you're talking $4 or $5 million replacing HVAC on one or two campuses, which includes, rerouting electrical, rerouting gas, rerouting utilities, and all that type of situation, it starts to climb very, very, very fast. So this is to address all those campuses and take care of some of those issues.
And the final two, Part B and C,
yes.
Stroman Middle School, which closed because of air quality issues earlier this year, and Mission Valley Elementary, which is, I think, one of the oldest campuses in the state.
It is the second oldest continuously operating building. It is the oldest continuingly operated site in the state of Texas for public education.
So these needs are very real.
Yeah, and again, this is something that we lay out in front of the community because we want the community's feedback on that. As far as the Stroman building, you're correct. We had to close that earlier this year because of the air quality issues, which part of it's the building, part of it's the climate that we live in. And the thought process on that is to replace that campus with a larger capacity campus, make it focus on STEM, which is science, technology, engineering, and math, to give our students additional pathways to pursue whatever it is they want to go on and do in life, whether it's vocational, whether it's higher education, whatever the case may be. And then the Mission Valley, again, you're dealing with an area that has growth in it. We know that there's a subdivision being built right across the street, and we're already having to cap attendance right around 260 to 280, which we are actually busing kids in from the Mission Valley area to other campuses right now. It'd be great for them to be able to go to their own campus in their own neighborhood.
Well, it's very clear that the immediacy of these issues is, it's huge. It's a high priority that didn't pass in May, so we reworked it. We're trying again with the community. And if you can vote early voting does end Friday.
Correct. Yes.
And there's no voting on Monday.
No voting on Saturday, Sunday, or Monday. And then election day will actually be Tuesday.
Well, excellent. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show and for volunteering as the school board president of Victoria ISD, the largest employer in the county.
Yeah, that's correct.
So it'd be great economic stimulus if it all goes forward.
Thank you very much, Carolina.
All right, and coming up, we learn about the newly adopted master plan for downtown Victoria. Don't go anywhere.